Grab your books and open to page 47 in your reading workbook. Go ahead, I'll count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should have your reading workbook and you should be open to page 47. We're going to read a story today called Squanto and the Pilgrims. Put your finger on the words to know box. Did you find it up there at the top? Remember where we discussed last week where we could find all of those words to know? Let's take a look. Turn in your books to page 393, 393. When you get there, you're going to see the glossary of words to know. Go find the T's. It'll be on page 397. When you get to the T's, look for the word treaty, T-R-E-A-T-Y. When you find the definition of the word treaty, you're probably going to recognize that it says an agreement between people or groups. A treaty is an agreement. So right next to the word treaty on your book, go ahead and write the word agreement. A-G-R-E-E-M-E-N-T, agreement. Did you write that down? Good. Let's look for the word harvest next. If you look in your book on the 393, you are going to look for the letter H. It's not on 393. Let's look. Oh, it's on the page next to it though, 394. Go to the letter H. You're going to look for the word harvest. Oop, there it is. It's the second word down under H. First it was harness, now it's harvest. Ooh, this has two definitions. Let's look at that word harvest. The first definition is crops that are gathered from the fields. The sentence reads, a good harvest can provide people with food for months. Okay. Number two, definition two, to bring in crops from the field. The farmer harvested the wheat and corn. Harvest, that kind of sounds like the same land as plant, grow, and collect. Harvest kind of sounds like farming. I think I'm going to come up to the word harvest and I'm going to write farming. F-A-R-M-I-N-G. Farming. Treaty was an agreement. Harvest is farming. I have one more word left. It's the word survive. So I'm going to look in my glossary of words to know, and I'm going to look for the S. The S's show up on page 396. As I look at 396, I see sap, scarlet, scraps, seesaw. Oh, there's another column. So I'm going to look for survive. Settle, shallow, sight, skim, sprout, stretch, survive. I'm looking for the word survive as a word I need to know. Survive means to remain alive. The sentence reads, animals need food and a place to live to survive a bad winter. Ooh, that kind of sounds like people. The pilgrims we read about yesterday needed a place to survive for the winter, so they stayed in their boat, you guessed it. So today we have the word survive as a vocabulary word. I think survive means to stay alive. So I'm going to come up to the word survive and right next to it in that top box, I'm going to write to, T-O, stay, S-T-A-Y, alive, A-L-I-V-E. Take a moment and get those written down. Treaty, an agreement. Harvest, farming. Survive, to stay alive. We definitely need to know these three words to know. So take your pencil and make sure you write them in your book on page 46. Next to the words, just like we would have done if we were in class. Good job. You can press pause on this anytime you need if you're still writing. If you finished, let's go ahead and continue reading. Let's read Squanto and the Pilgrims from Scholastic News. Paragraph 1. Long ago, there lived a man named Squanto. He was a Native American. He made a big difference in the lives of the Pilgrims. Squanto was a member of the Wampano. The Wampano were a tribe of Indians. When Squanto was young, Squanto was taken away by sailors. He learned to speak English. Paragraph 3. Later, Squanto went back to his tribe's home in Massachusetts. He learned that the Pilgrims were living there. Squanto went to meet them. They were happy that he could speak English. Paragraph 4. The Pilgrims wanted to talk with other Wampano people. Squanto helped them speak to each other. They signed a treaty. The treaty said that they would keep each other safe from harm. Squanto saw, this is paragraph 5, Squanto saw that the Pilgrims needed his help. They were having a hard time living in their new home. Wonder why they had such a hard time. If I think back to yesterday, I can make the connection that maybe they had a hard time because they struggled in the winter. That's a good point. So maybe they were having a hard time because they were struggling. Let's keep reading as we hit page 47. Paragraph 6. He became a generous teacher. He taught them how to fish and plant corn. He showed them how to get ready for the long winter. Because of Squanto, the Pilgrims had a good harvest. They would have enough food to survive the winter. They decided to have a feast. The Wampano came. Everyone shared the food and ate together. Squanto made it possible for the Pilgrims to live in their new home. He also helped the Wampano and the Pilgrims live together in peace. The Pilgrims were lucky to have met him. Okay, so if you turn to the first set of questions on page 48 in your books, let's look at the think. It says, use what you learned from reading Squanto and the Pilgrims to answer the following questions. Question 1. The following question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. So let's look at part A. Trying to get my pen up. Let's look at part A. When did Squanto learn to speak English? Was it A, after he was taken away by sailors? After he returned to his tribe's home? C, after he met the Pilgrims? Or after he became a teacher? I'm looking into my story, and if you look back in your story, you're going to see, let's see, when did he learn to speak English? I look back onto page 46, and I can see that it says in paragraph 2, Squanto was a member of the Wampano. When he was young, Squanto was taken away by sailors. He learned to speak English. Did he learn to speak English after he was taken away by sailors? B, after he returned to his tribe's home? Later he returned to his tribe's home. That's in paragraph 3. Paragraph 2 came first, and that was the first one. So let's see. This came from So that came from paragraph 2. Excuse my really bad handwriting. My screen is very tiny. That came from paragraph 2. This one came from paragraph 3. After he met the Pilgrims. Let's see. That's also in paragraph 3. So I'm going to put a 3 right there too. After he became a teacher? That's in paragraph 6 on page 47. I don't know. Which one of those things happened first? Paragraph 2, 3, 3, or 6? When you know your answer, make sure you take those notes in your book and then circle the correct answer in your book. Okay, did you find the answer? Good job. Now it says in part B, write 2 sentences from the passage that helped us answer the question in part A. If I go to part A, my answer was the one that happened in paragraph 2, right? After he was taken away by sailors. I need to find 2 sentences that helped me find my answer. I bet you I can go into paragraph 2 on page 46 and find those answers. So let's go and put a little note here. PG 46. Page 46 is going to help me find the answers to that. Let's see. Paragraph 2 in page 46 said Squanto was a member of the Wampano. When he was young, Squanto was taken away by sailors. Ooh, one sentence was that he was taken away by sailors. There's one sentence. I need 2 sentences. The next sentence goes on to say he learned to speak English. Wow, the last 2 sentences in paragraph 2 are the exact same 2 sentences I need to write on these lines. Write me 2 sentences. Write number 1 right there in your book. And write number 2 right there in your book. Way to go. Take a moment and get those copied. You can pause the screen and you can take as much time as you need. When you're ready to start again, just press play. Question number 6 says we need to reread paragraph 6. Then it says, which of these dictionary definitions for the word generous matches the meaning of the word in the section, in this section? In this selection. Wow, Mrs. Harrington's having a moment. Which of the, read paragraph 6. Which of these dictionary definitions for the word generous matches the meaning of the word in this selection? A, large, plentiful. B, not mean. C, willing to share with others. Or D, rich and strong. Let's go to paragraph 6. When I get to paragraph 6, which is on page 47, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to jot down a 47 to help y'all out. Don't forget to write that in your book. 47 is where we're going to find that. Which of these dictionary definitions for the word generous matches the meaning of the word in this section? A, large and plentiful. B, not mean. C, willing to share with others. Or D, rich and strong. I guess I'm going to need to reread paragraph 6. Paragraph 6 says, he became a generous teacher. Ooh, there's the word I'm looking for. If I'm at my book, I'm going to put a square in and on page 47. Put a square on page 47 of your book in paragraph 6, okay? Just like you did right here on this question. Put it in your book around the word generous. Paragraph 6, he became a generous teacher. He taught them how to fish and plant corn. He showed them how to get ready for the long winter. Let's see. He showed them how to get ready. He was a generous teacher. He taught them how to fish and to plant corn. That's not necessarily large and plentiful. A crop would grow large and plentiful, but I need the word generous. Generous doesn't mean not mean, because it doesn't say he wasn't mean. C, willing to share with others. Teachers do an awful lot of sharing, and they called him a teacher. He taught them how to fish and how to plant. He also showed them how to get ready for the long winter. That sure sounds a lot like what we're looking for. So, willing to share with others. That definitely sounds like something a teacher would do. How about D, rich and strong? I don't remember them talking about him being rich or strong. Go ahead and circle the one that you think matches the definition for the word generous in this selection on paragraph 6, page 47. Great job on that last page. Let's look at page 49 next and answer question number 3. Why did the Pilgrims first ask for Squanto's help? First ask. That's really important. I probably need to underline that first part. Let's see. Why did they first ask for Squanto's help? A, they wanted to speak to the Wampano people. B, they needed someone to take them home. C, they didn't know how to fish or plant corn. Or D, they wanted to live with the Wampano. So as I look at this, I see that the first one says they wanted to speak to the Wampano. The next one says they needed someone to take them home. The one after that says they didn't know how to plant or fish or plant corn. And the last one says they wanted to live with the Wampano. As I look at the story, I'm going to go back to the beginning. Let's see. Page 46. I'm looking for which one of these things happened first. The first reason they asked for Squanto's help. Let's see. It's not in paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 is how he learned to speak English. But paragraph 3 says Squanto later went back to the tribe's home in Massachusetts. He learned that the Pilgrims were living there, and Squanto went to meet them. They were happy he could speak English. That doesn't say anything yet. Let's look at paragraph 4. We're getting closer. The Pilgrims wanted to talk with other Wampano people. The Pilgrims wanted to talk with other Wampano people. I think that's a sign, because I don't see that they needed somebody to take them home. I didn't see that they didn't know how to plant or fish corn. They didn't, because they actually talk about that much later in the story and that he helps them. But did that happen first? I don't think so. Or D, they wanted to live with the Wampano. I don't think anywhere in here they said that the Pilgrims wanted to live with the Wampano. So automatically I would say put an X beside that one in your book. So you can automatically eliminate that one. So I think we've got it down to possibly A, or maybe even C. Those are really bad question marks, but you can put 2 question marks in your book and then decide, is it A or is it C? Which one of those things happened first? A and C both happened, but which one happened first? Remember, that's the word first that we're looking for. Circle the answer in your book. Question 4. Why did the Pilgrims decide to have a feast? A, they were happy that it was spring. B, they were happy about having a good harvest. C, they wanted to meet the Wampano people. Or D, they felt sorry that the sailors had taken Squanto. As I read the story, I remember learning about why the Pilgrims had a feast. When I go into the story, I'm going to start looking for places where it even talked about a feast. It's not on paragraph 1, and it's not on 47 at all. The feast, let's see. Oh, I see the word feast on page 47. See if you can find the word feast on page 47. Hint, it's in paragraph 8. If you look on page 47, paragraph 8. I'm going to help you right here. Page 47. And it's going to be para. Oh, here's my bad paragraph again. Whoa. That was a bad job with paragraph. There we go. Capital letters, way easier for me with this marker. Paragraph 8. Page 47, paragraph 8. Page 47, paragraph 8 says, they decided to have a feast. The Wampano came and everyone shared their food and ate together. I wonder what led to paragraph 8. Let's see. What led to paragraph 8? What paragraph comes before 8? That's right, 7 comes before 8. Let's read paragraph 7. Because of Squanto, the Pilgrims had a good harvest. They would have enough food to survive the winter. Oh, they were happy about having a good harvest. Hmm. Now that you have all that information, see if you can figure out which answer is correct. A, they were happy it was spring. B, they were happy about having a good harvest. Ooh, look at those words. Good harvest. I really like those words. I think I just read that in paragraph 7. They wanted to meet the Wampano people, or D, they felt sorry that the sailors had taken Squanto. I'm going to let you decide why the Pilgrims decided to have a feast. And number 5, and remember, you can push pause if I'm going too fast for you. Number 5 says, number 5 says, put the events in the order that they happened. Write the numbers 1 to 4 to show the order. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have to put these events in order. I'm going to give you a hint. So as you're putting them in order, I'm looking for the first thing that happened. Was it that Squanto helped the Pilgrims talk to his people? Is that the first thing that happened in the story? I'm looking in the story. I'm on page 47. I bet you the first thing that happened in the story is going to be on the first page. Long ago, there lived a man named Squanto. He was a Native American. He made a big difference in the lives of the Pilgrims. Nope, not that. Squanto was a member of the Wampano tribe. He was he was young. When he was young, Squanto was taken away by the sailors, and he learned to speak English. No, that's not it either. Squanto helped the Pilgrims learn to fish. Well, that was on page 47. So I'm going to just come right here and just jot 47 down next to this one. And it came specifically, this one is from paragraph 6. So if it's all the way on paragraph 6, it's probably not my number 1. They decided to have a feast. Ooh, that sounds like the last thing that they did. That sounds like the last thing that they did. That was also on page 47, but it was on paragraph 8. All right, so now I've got to see. And the last one was Squanto went to meet the Pilgrims. Well, let's see. I'm back on page 46. Squanto was a member of the Wampano. When he was young, he was taken away by sailors. He learned to speak English. Later, Squanto went back to his home tribe in Massachusetts, and he learned the Pilgrims were living there. Squanto went to meet them. Oh my goodness, that's in paragraph 3 on page 46. So I'm going to come right here, page 46. And it's going to be in paragraph 3. Okay, page 46, paragraph 3. So far, that's the first thing to happen. So I'm actually going to come right here, and I'm going to write a 1 right here. That's the first thing that happened. Now, Squanto helped the Pilgrims talk to his people. The Pilgrims wanted to talk to the other Wampano. Ooh, that's page 46, and it's paragraph 4. So I'm going to come right here, page 46, and I'm going to call that paragraph 4. Now all I have to do is put these in order. So if this was number 1, that means this is number 2. What was the third and fourth events to happen? Go ahead and fill those in. If you need to press pause on this, you can press pause to finish taking your notes and to fill in 3 and 4. Events 3 and 4 are your job. Which events were 3 and 4? I bet you they happened on page 47. Go ahead and take a moment. Okay, great job so far. Let's look at number 6. It says we have to write one sentence from the passage. Wow, I just get to write it straight out of the book. I don't even have to make this up in my head. I just have to find it. And I have to find one sentence about why the Pilgrims were lucky that they met Squanto. I can choose almost any sentence that tells me why they were lucky. What kind of things did Squanto do for the Pilgrims? If I look in here, he helped them talk to the other Wampano people. I can look at paragraph 4 on page 47, and it says, Squanto helped them speak to each other. That would be a great sentence to write down, and I only need one sentence. Another great sentence to write down. Let's see. Ooh, in paragraph 5, it said they were having a hard time living in their new home. Could write that down. Because in paragraph 6, it goes on to say he became a generous teacher. He was a teacher. That would make them pretty lucky to have met him. Oh, here's another sentence you could write down in paragraph 6. He taught them how to fish and plant corn. Look at paragraph 6 on page 47. There's a bunch of answers in there. He also showed them how to get ready for the long winter. Wow, all of the sentences in paragraph 6 would be a great sentence to write down. You just have to copy one sentence from the book that says how Squanto was lucky. Take a moment and grab your pencil and open your book to question number 6 on page 49 and write down how how the Pilgrims were lucky that they met Squanto. You can get all the sentences from paragraph 6. You just need one of them, but all of those paragraphs are really good sentences. Paragraph 9 is also a good one. It starts out with Squanto made it possible for them to live in their new home. And then it goes on to say that he helped the Wampano and the Pilgrims live in peace together. And the very end says that they were lucky to have met him. So you need to tell me one sentence that shows why they were lucky to have met him. All you got to do is write down one of those sentences. Pause this and go ahead and write your sentence. Okay, great work. So if you need to finish up your notes inside your book, take a moment and wrap them up. Tomorrow, we'll finish page 50 and 51 together. Not tomorrow, on Monday. You won't have to worry about that this weekend. I just want to make sure that you are finished with your questions from page 48 and 49, as well as finished reading 46 and 47. Please make sure you take an opportunity to read the story again. Remember, we will finish the page 50 and 51. We will do page 50 and 51 together as a class on Monday.